Hiya folks, welcome back to Captain of Industry. Oh, I just hit the button to record and immediately we got a big thunderstorm coming through, so yeah, that's ominous. This is episode 2 of the Let's Play series for Update 2, and yeah, we've got a lot to do today. But first, I left you on a bit of a cliffhanger last time. We did all the setup for this ship, we got the ship ready to go, and then I was like, time to end the episode. So I'm sure a few of you are not particularly pleased with me for that. So yeah, we literally just got 14 refugees arriving with all their loot as well. So let's load all of them plus one more person into the ship. Let's switch on auto repair just in case. And yeah, now we can send our ship out to do stuff. So we know this settlement already. This is the settlement that trades us bricks and stuff for wood, so but we don't need to actually use our ship to visit that to do the trades. Just having discovered it is enough. So what we'll do instead is just explore. And let's get back out here. Off our ship goes, flying away, angling and banking. Yeah, it's not handling those waves particularly well, but well, there we go. Off it goes. We'll get a message when it arrives at the place it's going to, so we don't need to monitor that too closely. I noticed the radio tower that we were scavenging, that's gone now. We've run out of stuff. Luckily, we've got our bricks production set up, so we could have run into a bit of a problem with that, because to make a brickworks you need 50 parts, construction parts, and to make construction parts you need bricks. So yeah, I'm glad we got this set up before we ran out of bricks. And the other thing was iron scraps, but luckily we now have gotten down to the point where we've reached quite a substantial amount of iron ore, in fact. So yeah, that's our blast furnace has seamlessly transitioned over to burning ore instead of scraps, and we're still getting iron, we're still getting bricks, we're still getting wood from the trees, so we're still making construction parts. One thing I do want to do though, actually, speaking of wood and trees, I want to take away all of these, and I want to chop down wait, hang on, no, I don't want to chop them. I want to chop down trees like here, and probably eventually all over here as well, because this is pretty much the only large open space we have available, and if we want to build a proper factory with a decent layout, then this is where we want to do it. If we want to build more farms, that's probably where we want to do it. I mean, we could chuck some probably here, but yeah, we're probably going to need another farm or two fairly quickly. I think our food supply estimate duration, whatever you want to call that, that's been going down. I think we're still producing enough food. Yeah, we've still got stuff, and we've still got potatoes in the farm that we haven't taken away yet, which means we're still producing more than we're using. But the number of months goes down as our population goes up, right? Because yeah, that's just how math works. And yeah, okay. We explored the location, we produced enough rubber, so let's just collect those and see what else. Trading, we can do that. Let's trade for bricks. We'll just do 20 just now. And okay, so this sometimes happens. So the trading we need to collect, that's the one we just finished. And apparently there was an iron ore mining goal gated behind that, which we already done, as is the processing iron ore, we've already done that, as is building a beacon and some extra housing and getting some refugees, as in producing vehicle parts, as in producing our own bricks. So yeah, we've done things a bit out of order compared to what the game expects us to do, but we've done all the things. That's what counts, right? So yeah, let's get back to the map. Our ship has arrived. Oh, hang on. The best way to do that actually is to go to this one, so we get the pop-up. We got some loot. We got some rubber and copper and some vehicle parts. all good stuff. Yeah, this is kind of why I was not concerned too much about getting our copper set up, because we're going to get a bunch of that as loot, and we're not really using it very fast, and we started with quite a large amount, and to a lesser extent the same for rubber. So I think the copper setup is going to be on the back burner for a while. We've got more urgent things that we could be handling, so we're just going to leave the copper setup alone, and we'll just rely on loot and our stockpiles for the moment. And let's see, so this is too far away, we don't have enough fuel, so we'll go and do the air, and in fact that's a good idea. Let me show you this. In the shipyard we do have the option to upgrade our ship. I mean, we don't have the option because we don't have any technology that would allow us to do that, but when we unlock the technology, this is where we do it. So in future we will be able to reach this, so we'll have enough fuel. If we were sending the ship straight there, we would have enough fuel because it goes to here, the ship travels and that uses fuel, and then when it finishes saying on the move, you'll see it says exploring instead, and I think that uses fuel as well, so you can't get as far if you're exploring along the way as you could if you were just sailing there directly. Yeah, exploring. More refugees, more copper, more rubber, some iron scraps, yeah. Hooray! Cool. Okay, so what do we want to do now? We've redirected our tree harvester over there. We're still going to be using this this scrappy little setup for quite a while. Yeah, until we can build up a bunch of stockpiles of stuff. In fact, let's work on that now. We've got a decent amount of construction parts, so let's get some storage in. We'll just put this right up against here so that we can stockpile the construction parts. I don't know where they're all going. Like, we've got 40 in each of these, but I don't know where the rest are. Yeah, so I think the bottleneck here is just that we've run out of space to deliver those anywhere. So let's just put construction parts in here. We don't actually need to assign the product because input and outputs are matched up. It'll automatically assign, there you go, just like that. Because it delivered it to there directly. There we go, location explored. We found more loot, but we've also found corn seeds. Hooray! And because the ship doesn't have enough fuel to get to anywhere, it's coming home automatically, which is great. So yeah, let's look at our research. So that corn seeds that we just found allows us to do this research. It unlocks the ability to research how to farm corn, which we currently can't do, and we couldn't have even researched before we found those seeds. We haven't found wheat seeds, so we're not going to be able to do that anyway. It needs a better research lab anyway, so we can't do those. Those are all future things, no matter what. But what we can do is crop rotation and vegetables farming. So we'll do those. We'll get some research. I don't want to leave it sitting with no research. So let's do that. I don't want to deal with concrete production yet. Concrete production is better and more efficient than brick production, but concrete essentially just replaces bricks in pretty much every use, and it's more efficient, but it's also a lot more worker heavy and a lot more like infrastructure heavy. I don't want to mess with that until we've got conveyor belts and the stuff to use conveyor belts with, and balancing and all that stuff. So yeah, there's better priorities, even though that gates us from playing with the custom surfaces. So what else do we need after our crop rotation, after our vegetables farming? Irrigated farms, I don't think we need that yet. It would be easier for us to just build another farm if the one we have isn't good enough, rather than upgrading it. This is not going to be very useful for us until we've got groundwater pumps, and even if we research groundwater pumps, the only place we can build that is up on here, which we don't have access to yet. I mean, maybe we could get relatively easy at, oh, maybe that, no, that's too steep, yeah, we can't get up there, no chance. So yeah, we're going to have to do a bit of messing about before we can get access to groundwater, and that's going to make irrigated farms and groundwater pumps and settlement water a bit less useful and viable than it otherwise would be. The fuel station, so at the end of the last episode we had a bit of a problem where this excavator here was driving all the way down there to get refueled, and I didn't like that. I wasn't particularly happy. I don't know if you noticed. Yeah, so I think the reason that's been happening is because, oh, that's weird. Is because there was less of fuel in here than the 90 unit keep full thingamajig. So it says here we need to keep it above 90 units, and now that it is above 90 units, the excavators will be able to refuel from there without cutting into the reserve. So what I figured out we could do. So in the last episode, I talked about building fuel stations to get around that. But right now, I think, where are you going? What are you doing? Okay? So they're picking up fuel from here and taking it to the shipyard because our ship just got back and refueled itself. So yeah, okay. So what we want to do is we want to take that down to there. So there will be no direction to our trucks to bring fuel to there directly. What we're going to do instead is over here tell this it needs to be not empty, but like less than fully full, if that makes sense. So as soon as we get up to like 126 or more units in this fluid storage will be like, hey trucks, I don't want all this fuel, take it away please. And then the trucks will look for somewhere to take that, and it'll find this as a place where it can deliver that to. So that'll mean that there's always going to be fuel there, and because it's not under a keep full order, it will be made available for the excavators to pick up from. And yeah, all we need to do, like, I mean, we don't need to, but it'll make things more efficient, is let's just do this, right? Dot a few of these around as kind of wait places for our trucks and excavators to refuel. In fact, down here next to, yeah, just like randomly in the middle of the that's probably not the best place to put it. It's not a very well planned place to put it, but yeah, it's going to be like, ooh, flashy thunder and a ding all at the same time. What's going on? But yeah, that's going to make a whole bunch of like pit stop places for these trucks to stop and refuel whenever they need to without having to drive halfway across the map, which should make things much better for everyone involved. More refugees, more loot, more people. Yeah, that's a respectable number of people so far. We're going to run into problems. So like 41 workers is quite a lot. So it's going to last us a little while. But if like the stuff we have unlocked, the copper electrolysis, the metal casters and the blast furnace, that's what, 8, 12, 17 workers just for one copper production line, plus another 6 for our, what I mean, let's build this now anyway. We want to build one here, and I'm going to build this right in front of this one. So the reason I do that is because 12 construction parts becomes 6 construction parts too, as it's a 1-to-1 output to input ratio. So this one's going to make construction parts for, wait a minute, no, yeah, okay, we need to cancel that, and we need to build an assembly 1 instead, because we don't actually have the right materials to build an assembly 2. So yeah, this one is going to build construction parts 1 and dump it in there for us to build stuff with. This one's also going to build construction parts 1, but that's going to get put into the assembly 2 to make construction parts 2 instead. And then let's get our storage for those. And yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Quick deliver. Why is our Unity going down? Okay, so I guess our food and our health are not quite enough to keep up with a beacon and 2 research labs. So this is going down, but it's only 0.01 per month. So yeah, that's fine. That's going to take a long time. And yeah, okay. And then I think after we've upgraded our farm abilities, let's just go straight to conveyor belts. I'm kind of keen to look at these conveyor lifts. They look pretty cool. they look a bit like the ones you get in Satisfactory, but I don't know if they're as flexible as those ones, because if you're familiar, that you can like rotate the top and the bottom independently of each other. That would be really cool if it was possible. But I don't know. I don't want to be like letting ourselves down by getting our expectations unwarrantedly high. Unwarrantedly? I don't know. Whatever the word that fits in that sentence actually is. And then after that, we can do the fuel station. I guess it's probably worth having one. It's worth having the tech, but more importantly, it gives us access to terrain leveling and advanced logistics control. So terrain leveling and vehicles management, which will increase our vehicle cap, but we're nowhere near hitting that anyway. So we don't. So like that's a far future problem that we're solving there. Terrain leveling is essentially, so we've got dumping and we've got mining. Terrain leveling essentially means like if we made something like this, where it starts out above the terrain and then goes under the terrain, it'll tell it to dump stuff to bring it up there, and then dump stuff and mine stuff to make it exactly that slope, which is going to be really handy for like going up to this plateau, going up to this plateau, maybe building like a pass through here or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think we care about that. But yeah, it's really useful for stuff like that. I think at some point, probably sooner than I really would have anticipated before. I just realised we probably want to do this fairly soon. Is build some sort of land bridge to get across to here. So for example, here we can build like a mine. I'll just do that. We can build like a mine down to here, and then a flat bit across. Then dump a flat bit across, and then go back up. And that'll use as little material as is really necessary. And that'll give us access to all this open land, which I think we're going to need fairly soon. Like, I think this is some open land, but it's not going to last us very long. If we're going to build some proper big, like Factorio style factory must grow type of things, we want to have access to here, because not only do we need room for factory stuff, we need room for more farms. We need room for more settlements as well, because these settlements, like, we're pretty much completely out of space to expand this settlement. I don't think there's anywhere we can build that unless we start deleting stuff over here. Like even this, there's like one line of squares that overlaps with that farm. We can't build into any of the hills. So I think what we want to do with that is we want to find a bigger open space with room for expansion, build a bunch of housings, and then delete this one. We want to essentially move that. But if we move that and we left enough room to expand it, that would take up most of this space, and then the farms to feed them would take up most of this space, and then we don't have anywhere to build our factory. So getting across to this big area is something that I'm quite keen to do. And then we can figure out, because it seems, we've got this giant, incredibly high, incredibly complex map. I'm not too keen on just being stuck on this island forever, right? That would be boring. And I don't think we want boring in a video series. I don't want boring in my gaming either. So yeah, maybe in the long term we can try and figure out how do we get down into here. Is there stuff down here? Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of oil down there. Okay, so we do have an incentive to get down there. There is some. Okay, that's just the layer of sand, right? Okay. And yeah. Oh, there. Oh, okay. Okay. So maybe we don't even try and get up here. Maybe we try and get across the river and use this groundwater. I mean, realistically, there's more. Oh, there's more up here. That's going to be tricky to get to. That's going to be a bit of a earthworks challenge. I mean, realistically, we want to use all of them because all these groundwater tiles are all finite. They get replenished by rain, but it's entirely possible to use them up faster than the rain replenishes them. So having access to as many of those as possible is probably a good idea. There's another one over here as well, and I think there's a starting area down here. So presumably, okay, so this was the second starting area, and I think there's like, I think they would have to use that. Okay, but yeah, okay, right, okay, we're getting totally distracted. Yeah, I don't know, a bit of exploration every now and again. You got to follow your heart. Yeah, so we're doing some research. We got some refugees there. I'm going to pause this again because I think 14 refugees. Yeah, we've got enough workers to go on with. I'm a little worried because we just ticked up to 100 from 194 to 195. And if it ticks up one more time and we get 14 refugees, that'll be us at capacity. So I don't want to run the risk of ending up with homeless people, because if we run out of space in our housing, the people don't stop coming unless you pause the beacon. So I want to leave a bit of a buffer there. And yeah, again, it's all the same stuff. Hooray, hooray! Crop rotation, yes. So this opens up a new thingy, mid-bob. What do you want to call it? Yeah, the crop rotation interface. So instead of just planting potatoes and then harvesting them and then immediately planting them, there's a soil fertility mechanic, and if you just plant the same thing over and over again, you get a penalty, which reduces your fertility. So for example, we haven't unlocked any other crops, so the only thing we can do is fertility and green manure, which I think is just like grass or something, which is then ploughed under to provide nutrients. But if we do, so if we look, we're doing 9.2 potatoes per 60 seconds, minus the minus any blockages from there not being enough water. If we put green manure on, now we're doing, wait, hang on. Okay, 9.2 up to 9.8. So that's a slight improvement. And once we unlock vegetables, we can do more flexible stuff, which will do that. Our fertility equilibrium has gone up, so our average production goes up. Even though we're spending less time actually growing potatoes, the fertility benefits of that green manure will make it more productive. So yeah, and that can get more complex later on. Not super more complex, but more complex nonetheless. And yeah, that's all that crop rotation thing does. We're already making construction parts too. We've got 24 of them. What that lets us do actually is we can upgrade all of these things. Like, if I remember correctly, so close this. Assembly 1 takes 4 workers. Assembly 2 takes 6 workers, but it produces stuff. So instead of producing 6 construction parts, it produces 12. So everything's doubled, with the exception of electronics, which goes from 4 to 12. So that's tripled. It uses twice the power, has twice the production, or 3 times for electronics, but it only has half again as many people. The other downside is it uses maintenance now, so we need to. It uses two per minute. We're making like 105 per minute, so we're still way past. Well, our maximum possible maintenance use per minute is 93. We're making 105, so maybe we'll need to think about making another one of those later on. I believe there's also, in the next phase, yeah, there's a better depot, a better maintenance depot in the next phase that we can build. So maybe we can just use the basic one until we get to that. And I believe the next level one also has conveyor belt inputs, and because we're making both of the things here, yeah, That should be good. That should be good. But what I was actually wanting to do, let's get these upgraded to, yeah. So yeah, we'll get this upgraded to the second version. We'll start making these yellow construction parts much faster. That'll allow us to upgrade the construction part 1, and then we'll be using like 18 iron per minute to make those construction parts. So we're probably, between that and the vehicle parts, we're probably going to be fully utilising the blast furnace and the metal casters. So maybe that's a future project to expand that, or maybe not. Who knows? Like, it's entirely possible we might just fill up this and not need that. But yeah, I think the next thing. What's the next thing we want to do? Well, let's send our ship out again. I think we've got plenty. We've got plenty of fuel. So let's just see. So yeah, I can explore this one now. So exploring does use up fuel. So yeah, we can now go and send it to explore this. Like, yeah, I don't really have a plan on. There's no way to know what is where. So like, except for this one, we know there's not going to be another. The lines never cross each other, so we know there's never going to be another node beyond this one. But otherwise, we don't know what has another node connected. We don't know what is stored at any place. Later on in the tech tree, like much later on, we get access to the second bridge, and that gives us a radar, and we can see stuff one node away. But for now, the only way to know what's at a node is to actually go there. Yeah, what else is on my list? Copper, maybe? How's our copper looking? We've got so much copper, we don't need copper yet. Like, there's no point in doing that. Let's, how are vehicles doing? Yeah, we've got another excavator there. I think instead of using that for copper, let's use it over here. Let's assign it to here. I would have liked to have the leveling designation for this, but I don't think that's. Yeah, I don't want to wait for it. So let's do that. Let's grab a couple of trucks and an excavator there. It's going to complain because we don't have a mining designation there, but let's. I'm not a big fan of the kind of sloping dirt at the bottom of here, so let's dig into that a little bit. What's that? 3. Okay. Let's dig into that a bit like this. From this corner. Go up. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's not. They're not digging too deep. And then I want to get, like, I think once we get to here, let's flatten it out, and then we can just scrape the top surface off of this. And that should be good, and we'll make that double wide as well. I don't want it. The single width things like that are not particularly great. And yeah, we've got a mining destination outside of the area because we went down here. So let's make it even bigger. We need to go bigger. Yeah, cool. Because then we eventually want to get to where we want to dig into where this groundwater is. And the way these deposits work is you don't need to build, like, as long as a groundwater pump is on this deposit somewhere, it'll be able to access all the water in the entire deposit. So having only this little bit of terrain dug out will still allow us to access all the water in there. And I wanted to move this out a wee bit as well because we've got a bit more there. And yeah, okay, so we need to go a little bigger even again. Yeah, and that should, yeah, we'll just leave that getting on with it. It's going to take a while. In fact, it's going to take quite a while because, watch this, I'll show you why. This pickup is going to get some dirt. Why don't you just put it in the same truck instead of the new one? Okay, follow this one. Where's it going to go? Because, like, ideally I would like it to go here and dump the dirt there, but it's not doing that. It's going to the ore sorting facility, which is, yeah, that's a bit frustrating. The reason I was looking at that is because eventually that it's not just going to be dirt; it's going to be dirt and rock, and in that case, it does need to go to an ore sorting facility. Um, yeah, I think we need another ore sorting plant, um, because this one's not like we've got all this iron ore. It's not going to process the dirt and rock until there's room for the ore as well. Uh, let's reject single product loads from there. I don't want them. I don't want these trucks with just a load of dirt going there. I want them to go and dump it straight on the ground like that. But let's get another one of those. I don't think. Where was that? Buildings for vehicles. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll put it right up next to the farm so that we're not encroaching into this space. And this one's literally just going to be for rock and dirt. And what were the researches we just been getting? So, location explored. We found some loot. Nothing more exciting than that. The ship is back. The ship is refueled. Cannot unload cargo. Shipyard is full. So that's fine. I don't think we need any. I mean, it would be nice to get the vehicle parts, but we're not too worried about that. Let's just go straight back to here. This is too far. I think these are going to be too far. Let's just explore this little one because that's fairly close by. We've unlocked vegetable farming, so that's just something we can do here actually. Rather than planting potatoes and green manure, we can just alternate between potatoes and vegetables. That gives us the same crop rotation benefits of not planting the same thing every time. But we're only going to be producing 5.4 potatoes, but we're also going to be producing 5.6 vegetables. So it's like 11 units in total, which yeah, that should keep our people fed better. Now we only have a food market for potatoes, so we just need to build another food market for vegetables. So let's do that. And vegetables. Yeah, it's going to be a while until we actually have any vegetables, but yeah, because it's not going to stop planting the green manure. It's going to finish that and then go to the potatoes and then go back to the vegetables. And that should be fine. I think they might eat more vegetables than they eat potatoes, but we'll see. Once we've got both of those in there, the food consumption rates will update and we can see what that looks like. I'm a little worried about that. 9.3 potatoes is almost everything we were making, so maybe we want to once we have a look at how things are looking with the vegetables, we can see if we need another farm or not. I feel like we might need another farm, but we've got enough buffer. What was that? I didn't even read that pop up, but I assume it was just loot. I didn't see anything that caught my attention, but yeah. So yeah, okay. So these trucks are now going to dump rock and dirt in this ore sorting facility, and that's going to be awesome. The food markets use workers as well. We're already back down to 37. We're going to run into worker availability issues sooner rather than later. Again, what else? Vehicle ramps. So in the previous one, I said that these aren't relevant because we haven't unlocked conveyor belts, but I forgot that we do have pipes. These are essentially, you see there's a little gap under it. You can build these over a pipe or a conveyor belt, or well, 3 pipes or conveyor belts, or 6 pipes or conveyor belts, or 14 pipes or conveyor belts, so that they can drive over it. Trucks can drive over them as long as they're like this one, two or higher. Excavators can never drive under them at all. How's our... Yeah, okay, so we've got loads of construction parts, and these trucks are just doing our wastewater. So let's just do that. Let's just... Oh. Okay, so I tried to click on pipes, and it unlocked conveyor belts right as I did it, and it made me click the wrong thing. So yeah, we're just do this there. Quick deliver, yeah. Now we never need to. I mean, technically, we don't even need this fluid storage, but now we never need trucks to get rid of our wastewater. So yeah, now we've got conveyor belts, and that could be really useful. Where are we? Here we are. I might maybe we should move this ore sorting plant up to here. I don't. Let's pause. In fact, let's get rid of the delete. Okay. And I'm holding control to delete it with Unity. We're now back up to more. We're back up to positive Unity because we paused the beacon. I want to put an ore sorting plant here instead. Probably there. Yeah, because that's not only closer to where the trucks are going to be, but it's a better place so that we can build a conveyor belt, just like that. There we go. And then a storage. This is still like a scrappy starter base type of layout. Yeah, we don't have enough resources. Pick up is struggling to find a destination it can reach. Why? Have I blocked off? I haven't blocked off. Put this in coal. Tell it to keep it full. See what happens. Why can you not get anywhere? Okay, just recover. Alright, okay, so the corner of this is really not particularly well. It's not really visible in the model, but it's stuck in like a little square here. I think that's what's going on. You're stuck because you parked yourself there and then people dumped stuff behind you. So Unity, recover, send you back there. What's the last one? Oh, it's the same one. Okay. These, yeah, okay. So this is iron ore and dirt and rock. Same as this one. This one, you're not allowed to send any more stuff here, please. In fact, I think we probably want to delete that. I wonder how. Let's try that. I don't know how this is going to handle it. If I do that, is it just gonna? Okay, I'm pretty sure I know what happened there. It just dumped all the things into the shipyard. All this ore. We're gonna get something in a second that is gonna. Let's get a storage here. So to start with, this is going to be iron ore, and it's going to be keep full. We'll just do that, and then any second now we're going to unlock transports balancing. Pickup has no fuel. You have no fuel. Why are you complaining to me? Just go and get some fuel. I mean, yeah, I don't want that warning. Yeah, there we go. Transports balancing. That's what we want. So, yeah, because I don't want that iron ore sitting in the shipyard taking up space that we could be using for more important stuff. And because this, wait, hang on. D. Okay, so we can change which ones output that. Cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah, in the meantime, yeah, we want a U-shaped balancer. We want to put it there. We want a U-shaped conveyor there. We want to prioritize that. So that'll burn through all that iron ore that's sitting in our shipyard. They'll bring it to this, and the yeah, they'll bring it to this storage, and the balancer will prioritize ore from this storage over ore coming out of the sorting plant. What we'll also do later on is once we run out of loose ore in the shipyard, we'll flip this over to use iron scraps. So whenever we send our ship somewhere and it finds iron scraps, or wherever we get refugees and they bring iron scraps with them, it'll go into this storage and be used before the ore. Yeah, okay, so that's that. The other thing for conveyor belts, because this is a 1-to-1 ratio, let's just get a flat conveyor belt like this. Easy as that. That'll just remove the need for trucks to come to here, pick up stuff and put them there. I like how there's little pictures of what stuff is building on the models now. That's pretty awesome. I like that. I don't want to mess about with with delivering stuff to the inputs of these factories yet. I want to wait until the conveyor lifts are here. I want to see how they work, because some of these have like 3 different inputs that they need, and conveyor lifts. I feel like conveyor lifts will be very helpful for that. So I think that's all we really needed for that. One thing I do want to do, I noticed earlier that this is just backed up with coal, and we're digging almost pure coal out here. So I don't want to. I want coal to come out. Where's that copper? Coal comes out D. No, that's rock. That's not rock. That's coal comes out D. Copper comes out C. It didn't change. Okay, alright. It didn't update because it only updates when you click away and click back. Oh, that makes sense. And yeah, I want to put a storage. Just yeah, I think I might have made a mistake here. I don't think we can get away with using this same ore sorting plant for coal and copper. I think we need to switch off copper there, because as soon as that coal gets maxed out, it's going to stop processing anything. If we try to do it like we were trying to do there, almost certainly we'd end up with it being deadlocked, where we top out on one or the other of those productive resources, and then run out of the other one. So that's it. For the rock and dirt, it's fine, because we're just dumping those on the ground, so we've got an infinite supply of places to send those materials. But for the coal and for the copper ore, we don't have, like, the only way to get rid of those is by producing stuff with them, and our capacity for that is always going to be limited to some degree. Okay, so what else do we want to do? We've got loads of all this stuff. Our resources are looking good. Our bricks are kind of just about keeping up. I don't expect this one brickworks to be able to keep up with 2 of the fancier, better assemblies, but a lot of the time we're going to top out on resources and have them sitting idle, so I'm not too worried about that. Like, it'll be enough for us to limp along until it's time to build a concrete setup, which needs us to do some mining over here. I wonder, right, so we've talked about building a bridge across here, and I definitely still want to do that. I wonder if maybe we want to, so we want to ramp, so maybe we want to do it here. Maybe we want to dig through the limestone instead of down there, and then make the bridge out of limestone. And that does mean that we will be dumping limestone into the water, where it'll be difficult to get more of it, like to get it back, but like not impossible. Eventually we can like fill in this whole river with rock and then dig out the middle of it to get the limestone, because I think there's quite a lot of limestone under the water already. Or, well, not really. Yeah, there's a lot under the water line. So eventually, if we want to get all of that limestone, we're going to need to like fill in the river and then dig a pit. Fill in the river and dam up the river, and like fill in the whole river so that we can dig deep enough to get that without causing a big flood. So maybe we just lean into that straight away. So for example, let's get a mining designation. Here's the shallowest bit of the river. It looks like, just from eyeballing it. It's really hard to see what's going on under the water in this game. There's no underwater view. But like, for example, let's start flat here and go to maybe here, and then dig down to like level 1, dig across to here again, and then dig back up. And it's not super, in fact this only needs to go up to level 6, so I think yeah, and it's not super efficient to do that because we're digging through a mountain instead of just off of a normal cliff. But that's fine, because we're gonna need this anyway. We're gonna need limestone anyway. so we might as well, right? And then we can just dump some, we can, I think, in fact, let's do it only one wide. And what we'll do is we'll dig one wide until we get down to here and we get back above the ground. And then we'll say we can dump limestone in this area, and then we'll expand it out to 2 wide. So we'll be digging out the second width and then dumping it in the ocean in order to get across. And then when we get to the other side, we'll expand the bridge to 2 wide and dig this one out and dump that in the ocean. And yeah, I think that'll be pretty good. It's a bit of a crazy way to do things, but it's fun. I like doing it. I like it that way. Why would you bother playing a game and just like follow the expected thing? So yeah, I'm gonna just click X on that. So that's going to be where we dig our limestone. Eventually, I don't think we need limestone yet, but that's where it's going to come from. That's where it is. That's where the limestone is. So that's where we go. Like was the bank robber guy. That's why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money is. Yeah. Okay. So conveyor lifts. We'll take a quick look at these, and then probably call it an episode after that. So conveyor lifts, a flat lift. So we want to. So that's red. We have to terrain too high. Terrain too high? That's weird. Okay, so if we connect it to there, it doesn't think the terrain's too high. But if it's here, it thinks the terrain's too high. Even though, like... Okay, so it looks like these lifts are totally static, I think. If we put it like here... Oh, we can go super high. That's interesting. It's given us a warning, and I can see why, because you can't build things this high. But what you could do is when we get retaining walls, what are we looking at here? Retaining walls. We can build like step ups, and maybe we can use these lifts to build up above there. So you could can we do? Okay, so we can go super high on this. I can think of a few niche use cases for that. I'm quite interested to play with that later on when we've got multi-level bits and pieces. How do you rotate it? Can you flip it? Right, okay, so F flips it, whether it's transporting it down or up. Q and E say where the base level of it is, and then you click and use Q and E again to change where the output level is, or the input if it's the other way around. Put where the top level is. Cool, okay. Doesn't look like... Yeah, it doesn't look like you can rotate the top to a different orientation than the bottom. But that's okay, we can work with that. No problem at all. Let's just do this. I want to flip that so that that's there, and then I want to put that. Oh, we can go down as well. That's interesting. There are buildings later on that have input ports that are not at ground level, so I think that's just handling that. So that's up to level 1, I believe. Is it? I think that's actually level 2. But yeah, we want one at that level. Okay, and we want one. Oh no, it likes it on that side. It doesn't like it on that side. That's fine. Then we go up one level. Cool. Okay, I like these a lot. So essentially what I'm trying to do here is we've got iron coming out of here. So I want to make iron go along here. Why? Right, okay, it doesn't, that's why it didn't like this connecting to this port, because we've got a slope here. We don't have flat ground. So I'm kind of regretting my choice to put this here. I feel like that was pretty inevitable for so maybe we can't do what I was planning to do. So essentially, iron comes out and goes in there on ground level, and then wood comes out at level 1 and connects in there, and then, in fact, let's just do it. I think, where are we? Another lift there, but up a level, and a flat conveyor there, and then bricks to here. Keep full. And now we have this assembly is getting fully, yeah, that's fully automatically supplied. What I do want to do is this, so this, can trucks pick this up auto? Now that some iron has been taken out by a conveyor belt, trucks will no longer come here to pick that up, and I don't want that right now because this isn't going to use all of that production, and we can't currently automate all of these things because of that hill we built next to. And yeah, ore sorting plant blocked due to full output. Have we run out of places to dump stuff? Yeah, we've run out of places to dump stuff. Let's just maybe let's expand that ramp out a wee bit just to make things a bit easier. Yeah, and then that'll give them somewhere to dump that straight away. And then I think we want to go 1, 2. We want to go 1, 2, 1, 2 out. I don't want to block this green section for our trading dock. So actually, maybe we don't go out that far. Maybe we go to here, and then we go out, and it's going to make the coastline a bit ragged, but it's better than risking blocking that. And what I also want to do is, so we're gone out flat there, but what I want to do is go put a little slope on the end like this, and that's because when we dump rock, you see this, the slope's quite steep there, but when we dump dirt, the slope's really shallow. It spreads out a lot more. And remember, we were saying we want to dump rock and stuff here, but then we want to put a layer of dirt on top, and this slope will help with that because it'll mean the slope at the edge of the coastline is entirely rock and not dirt, so it'll be a lot steeper, and we'll need a lot less material to fill up that space. And yeah, we can do the same here. Dump out here, dump out here, and we'll have to come back and mine a little bit out of there to make the angle right, but that's fine, we can do that. I just paused there. I didn't want to stop what I was doing, but I just paused because I saw, and maybe you also saw, we have a little bit of a warning situation going up at the in fact, let's make this that, and we don't need that. Yeah, we've got a bit of a situation going on over here. Low food supply. So yeah, our people want to eat 4.8 vegetables and 4.8 potatoes. We're theoretically making 5.4 and 5.6, which would be enough, but we're not getting enough rain to maintain that pace. If they don't get water, they stop growing and eventually they die. We can't rely on it growing as fast as the UI tells us it's going to grow. So let's just build. This is the only place we've got open space, unless we want to go. Yeah, there's no. Where could we go? Here? No, it's all just very slightly the wrong shape. Yeah, and this is all covered in trees. I mean, yeah. I mean, technically, I think we've got enough. No, we don't even have enough space there. We don't want to build there anyway because that's where our oil is. So yeah, this is the only place we've really got any usable space. So let's just dump a farm there, quick deliver it, and set it up. We're just going to set up the same rotation. And yeah, that's another 10 workers used up to do that. That should solve things. It might take a while for it to for it to pass through, but we should be able to survive long enough. The vegetables only take 4 months to grow, and we've got 11 months of food. I mean, it's not started because it's waiting for rain, so hopefully it rains soon. Let's get our, yeah. Maybe we need to do a rain dance or something. Oh, here we go. There we go. Rain here to save us. So yeah, I think we're good. I think it was fun to play with those conveyor lifts, but I don't think we've really got the layout to use them properly yet. So I think maybe we need to wait for some of these trees to get knocked down. And what I'm going to do, in fact, is this one I'm going to say keep full, but I'm also going to put like multiple storages for wood over here. Because right now the tree harvesters are just sitting there doing nothing because the trucks don't have anywhere to unload it. So like if we just do 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, use our Unity to get them started, and then tell this one you can store wood here. That'll let them unload, and because the outputs are connected to the inputs, it'll just like push them all forwards. We've used up all our construction parts again, but that'll let them do that, and that will, like, we don't really need to have that much wood stored, but I want to get the deforestation underway pretty rapidly because I want this space so we can use it for a better layout. I would like to not have to be dodging slopes and hills and cliffs and tiny valleys to build our factory. We're probably past the point where we should have solved the early game disorganization. So that's going to be next episode. We're going to take that. I'm going to take all the stuff over here. We're going to rebuild it probably up in here, and then we're going to set up some. So let's get rid of these. We've already done all those. Advanced logistics control. That's the last thing in our queue right there. Once that's done, we can set up this to deliver on an official route out to a storage out here, and we can do all our iron processing here where it's close to the coal, and also later on where it's close to the copper, because then we can just output iron into a factory for mechanical parts and copper into a factory for electronics, and then output both of those into factories for vehicle parts and also maintenance depots as well. And then again we can also and again, like, we can set up concrete, and that, because that's over here as well, that'll let us deliver that straight into our assembly machines. We get a new recipe for construction parts that uses concrete instead of bricks when we unlock the technology. So we can unload that into there, we can unload the iron that we'll be making into there, we can unload wood, because we'll have deforested a whole bunch of this stuff, and it'll all be stored over here. And yeah, things will be looking pretty good. We're out of bricks. That was kind of inevitable because we're not making as many bricks as we're using, but what we can do for that is we can just send some of our wood to that village in return for some bricks to supplement our income on that, and that solves the problem of not having bricks, and it also solves the problem of not having anywhere to store all the wood that is created when we deforest the space that we need for our factory. And you notice there we traded it 4 times. After the first 2 it went from 20 to 25. After the second 2 trades it went up to 31. So I don't want to do any more trades than that for now. The price will go down over time, and we can do more trades at that point. We've already used up all the bricks that we just received. Just not even not even long enough for me to finish explaining that. So yeah, maybe our next thing is going to be concrete. I think that's probably going to be what we need to do next time. We're going to need to set up concrete because we can't survive on 12 bricks per minute, and concrete will allow us to make like 12 per minute per concrete mixer, and we can build like 4 concrete mixers. We need to figure out sand. We need yeah, it's quite complex because we need to crush slag and rock into gravel and stuff, and then potentially also into sand, uh, crush gravel into sand, and then put both of those things, gravel and sand, into the concrete mixer. We also need limestone and coal to make cement, to put that in the concrete mixer, and then also water, and then we get concrete. Whereas this one, we just dump dirt into the brickworks and we have bricks. So yeah, that's probably the biggest step up in complexity so far in the series. But it'll be fun. It'll be good. It'll be interesting. It's really fun to design layouts. In fact, I'm really looking forward to figuring out how to make a layout for concrete using these new lifts, because they'll definitely allow us to do that, and to make that layout a lot more compact, a lot like easier to build and easier to understand, and just overall better. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Don't spoiler me, don't send me blueprints for other people's designs for that. I like to build them myself. I'll go through step by step, figure it out, do a bit of puzzling. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've had a great time recording this episode. Hope you enjoyed watching it too. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.